In previous lecture, I have discussed about symmetrical and balanced three-phase system. Uh, Three-phase system will give you a balanced three-phase voltage, or when this voltage will be given to the symmetrical load, then you will get balanced three-phase current. So the meaning of balanced three-phase voltage is if phase voltage of each phase, or you can say the magnitude of phase voltage of each phase uh, is same, and the angle or phase difference between the two phase voltage will be of 120 degree, then you can say the set of these three voltage will be a balanced three phase system, or set of these three phase voltage will make a balanced three phase system. So here you can see, if this is phase R, if this is phase R, and this one is phase Y, and this one is phase B. Here R for red, Y for yellow, and B for blue. And if this generator is providing balanced three-phase voltage to the load, and if the load voltage, phase voltage of load is VR, VY, uh, VY, and VB, and if these three phase voltage are balanced, then what does it mean? It means the magnitude of each phase voltage will be same, will be same, and the angle or phase difference between the two phase voltage will be of 120 degree. So this is the mathematical representation of balanced three phase voltage in phasor form. This is called phasor form. In phasor form, you have to write magnitude and its angle. So this is voltage equations for balanced three-phase system, because here you are getting equal magnitude of phase voltage for each phase, and the phase difference between any two phase is of 120 degree. Similarly, this is the phasor representation of balanced three-phase current which are flowing through the load. And you can see here uh, the magnitude of phase current of each phase is same, and the phase difference between two phase current is of 120 degrees. So this is the fundamental concept about the balance system. If a system or three phase system or three phase voltage is balanced, three phase voltages makes a balanced system. It means the magnitude of each phase will be same, and the phase difference between any two phase voltage will be of 120 degree, and similarly for the current. So this I have discussed in detail in the previous lecture, so you can go through that video. Now the other thing which I have earlier discussed is phase sequence. If three phase system is a balanced system, then the basic concept is its magnitude or magnitude of phase voltage will be same, and the angle between any two phase voltage will be of 120 degree, and when you will draw a waveform you will get this type of waveform. Here you can say uh, there are three phase, one is phase R, another one is phase Y, and third is phase B, and you can see here the magnitude of each phase is same. This is Vm. So, and the angle between any two phase voltages will be of 120 degree. When you will get, when you will determine the angle between its maximum, you will get angle 120 degree. This is the phase difference. Or when you will determine angle between B and C, the phase angle between B and C, you will get again 120 degrees. So this is a balanced system. Now the question is, what is the phase sequence of this balanced system? The phase sequence is the order in which phase voltages will attain their maximum. From this waveform you can see the phase voltage of phase R is attaining its maximum first, and then phase voltage of phase Y, and then phase voltage of phase B. So the phase sequence of these three waveforms, you can determine the phase sequence of this balance system from this waveform, and your answer will be RYB. Why the answer is RYB? Because the phase voltage of R is attaining its maximum first, then phase voltage of phase Y is attaining their maximum, and then phase voltage of phase B is attaining their maximum. So the order in which the phase voltages will attain their maximum or minimum is called phase sequence. So from these waveform, you can say the phase sequence of this three-phase balance system is RYB. Similarly, if I am asking you, what do you mean if three-phase system has phase sequence RBY? It means the phase voltage of phase R will attain their maximum first, then phase voltage of phase B, and then phase voltage of phase Y. So this is the meaning of phase sequence. And the other important point which I have covered in the previous lecture, the interval or the angle difference after which one phase is attaining their maximum or before which one phase attaining their maximum. This angle is called phase difference. For example, in this figure, you can see here phase Y attaining their maximum after an angle 120 degree from phase R. So this angle 120 degree is called phase difference. If you will consider R as the reference, then you can say Y is lagging R by an angle 120 degree. Lagging means Y will attain maximum after the phase voltage of R. So lagging means it will attain maximum after R. Leading means it will attain their maximum before R. So here you can see uh, Y is attaining their maximum, but after an angle 120 degree from R. So it is lagging R by an angle 120 degree, and this lagging is represented by minus sign here. That is why minus sign here. Minus sign means Y is lagging R by an angle 120 degree. This minus sign means lagging. Similarly, you can see phase B. Phase B is attaining their maximum, but after an angle 240 degree from the waveform R. So if phase R is the reference, because for to measure lag or lead, you have to consider one phase as the reference. Without the reference, you cannot measure lag or lead. So if you are considering phase R as the reference phase, you have to consider one phase as a reference phase. Otherwise, you cannot write uh, voltage equation in phasor form, or you cannot decide lag or lead, and you cannot draw even a phasor diagram. So you must have to consider one phase as reference, and you are free to select any phase as the reference phase. There is no any hard and fast rule. So if you are considering R as the reference phase, then from this reference phase you can see phase B is attaining their maximum after an angle 240 degree from the reference R. So again B is lagging but now the angle of lag will be of 240 degree. So the equation of this phase voltage B will be V, because magnitude will be same as the magnitude of R, because this is a balanced system. But since it is attaining maximum after 240 degree from reference phase, so this angle will be 240 degree, and this minus sign will represent lagging. So here VB will lag R by an angle of 240 degree. So this is V angle minus 240. In previous lecture, I have discussed why it is written plus 120. Uh, I am discussing it again. And when you will draw phasor diagram from this mathematical expression of voltage, then how you can draw? First, you have to draw a vector for reference phasor. You can draw vector for reference phasor in any direction, but first you have to draw. You can draw reference phasor in this direction, this direction. It is on you in which direction you are uh, drawing reference vector. It is on you. But I have drawn here reference vector in horizontal direction. This is VR. And with this reference vector, I will draw other vector, other voltage, other vector which will represent Vy and Vb. So this is the reference vector. Now the task is to represent this voltage by a vector. How you will represent? You must note here this sign is minus. So from the reference, you have to draw another vector in clockwise direction. This minus sign so indicate you have to draw vector in clockwise. And at what angle? At an angle of 120 degree. So when you will draw a vector at an angle of 120 degree in clockwise direction, you will get this vector, which is shown here in yellow color. You must remember this is in clockwise. So this vector will represent the voltage Vy. This is Vy. This is Vy. And again, how you will draw this vector? Here you must, you can see here, this is a plus sign. Plus sign means from the reference you have to consider another vector, but in anti-clockwise direction. This plus represent anti-clockwise. So from the reference, you will have to draw a vector in anti-clockwise direction at an angle of 120 degree. So this is anti-clockwise direction. And at an angle 120 degree, you will get this vector. So this will represent VB. So this will represent VB. So in this way, you can write this mathematical expression, or you can represent this mathematical expression by a set of vector of particular length and of particular direction. These sets of vector, or you can say this diagram, is called vector diagram, or you can say this is a phasor diagram. So this is the phasor diagram of these three voltage equation, which is represented in phasor form. Now, one thing you must note here. One thing you must note here. This is V angle minus 240. Now, one thing you must note here for phase voltage of phase B. Now, if you will measure this vector in clockwise direction, then this angle will be 240. So that is why I have written here minus 240, because you are measuring in angle in clockwise direction. But if you will measure the same vector in anti-clockwise direction, then you will get only 120 degree. So that is why this is 120 also. So you do not confuse. From the reference, you can consider this vector either in clockwise or in anti-clockwise. If you will consider this vector in clockwise direction, then angle will be minus 240. And if you will consider this vector in anti-clockwise direction, then this angle will be 120 degrees. So you do not confuse with plus 120 and minus 240, both are the same. First point. And the second point is the length of the vector. The length of the vector represent the magnitude of phase voltage. And you can see here the magnitude of phase voltages are equal here. So the length of the vector which is shown in this phasor diagram will also be of equal length. So you must remember these 2 points, and this is how you can know about the phase sequence, how you will write voltage equation in phasor form, and from phasor form how you will draw uh, phasor diagram. And from phasor diagram you can also answer about the phase sequence. Suppose I am asking you, from this phasor diagram, tell me what is the phase sequence. So first you have to set one vector as the reference, and from the reference just you will have to see what is the next vector in clockwise direction. So next vector is y, reference is r, and in clockwise direction next vector is y, and again the next vector is b. So its phase sequence will be RYB if reference is R. If reference is blue B, then what will be the phase sequence? If reference is blue, then in clockwise direction next vector is R, and then next vector is yellow. So phase sequence will start from B, and next vector in clockwise direction is R, and the next vector in clockwise direction is y. So if B is the reference, then phase sequence will be BRY. So everything I have discussed in the previous video, just you have to watch that video, go through that video to understand these basic concept. And another thing, one most important thing is about alpha operator, which is very essential to understand this unit, alpha operator. Alpha is basically a vector of magnitude 1, and its angle from the reference is 120 degree. This is the meaning of alpha. In 12th class, you have already studied about J operator in complex number. The meaning of J is 1 angle 90 degree. Similar to J operator, there is alpha operator to understand the symmetrical component analysis. In this unit, there is alpha operator. And what is the role of alpha operator? When you will multiply, any vector, suppose this is a vector, and for example this is 1 angle 0, which is 1 basically. What will happen when you will multiply alpha to this vector? As you will multiply alpha to this vector, then what will happen? This vector will be rotated in clockwise direction by an angle of 120 degree. 120 degree. Because if this is A and alpha is 1 angle 120, So when you will multiply A with alpha, then A is 1 angle 0 and alpha is 1 angle 120. The resultant vector will be 1 into 1 1 and 0 plus 120 it will be 120. So resultant vector will be 1 angle 120. 1 angle 120 means the vector, the other vector will be at an angle of 120 degree in anti-clockwise direction because the sign is plus at an angle of 120 degree. So you will get this vector. When you will again multiply alpha with this, then what will happen? Again this vector will rotate by an angle 120 degree and you will get alpha square. Alpha square is, if alpha is 1 angle 120, then obviously alpha square is 1 angle 240. Or from the reference, this vector you can see this is an angle of 240 degree in anti-clockwise direction. So this is plus. And what will happen again when you will multiply alpha? Then again this will rotate and you will get the same vector from where you have started. So in conclusion, you can say when you will multiply any vector with alpha, then that vector will be rotated rotated by an angle 120 degree in anti-clockwise direction without changing its magnitude. So this is the meaning of alpha. And again you can see here, 1 alpha and alpha square is making a balanced system because magnitude or length of each vector is same. Each vector has a length of 1 unit and the angle between the vector is 120 degrees. So this is a balanced system. And when you will add such balanced system together, you will get 0. So you must remember this. And second thing is alpha q will be 1. Now I am asking you, what is alpha square conjugate or alpha conjugate? If alpha is 1 angle 120, then alpha conjugate will be 1 and this plus angle will be minus 120. This is the meaning of complex conjugate. If alpha is 1 angle plus 120, then its conjugate will be minus 120. And from phasor diagram, minus 120 means the vector from the reference which is at clockwise direction, which is 120 degree in clockwise direction. So from the reference vector, if you will say at an angle of 120 degree from the in clockwise direction, the vector is alpha square. So alpha conjugate will be alpha square. And similarly, alpha square conjugate will be alpha. So you must remember these characteristics of alpha operator. Here I have discussed the thing. The alpha means 1 angle 120. Alpha conjugate is 1 angle minus 120, which will be alpha square. And the sum of these three operator will be 0 and alpha q will be 1. From the numerical example, you can also see here, if this is a vector A, and if you will multiply this vector with alpha, then what will happen? This vector will rotate in anti-clockwise direction by an angle 120 degree without changing its magnitude. So you will get the vector in blue color. Its magnitude will not change, but the angle 120 degree will be added here. This 30 degree become equal to 150 degree. When again you will multiply alpha with this blue color vector, then you will get this vector will again rotate by an angle 120 degree and you will get green color vector. The magnitude of this green color vector will be same, but this angle 120 degree will be added here. So in conclusion, you can say when you will multiply alpha with any vector, then that vector will rotate by an angle of 120 degree in anti-clockwise direction without changing the magnitude. So this is also important to understand symmetrical component analysis. So you must go through the previous video in which I have clearly discussed about balanced system, unbalanced system, symmetrical system and unsymmetrical system. And in previous lecture I have discussed if the system is symmetrically and balanced, then by the analysis of a single page, or you can say you can do analysis on per page basis. There is no need to analyze all of these three page, because if this current is I, then obviously if the system is symmetrically unbalanced, then this current will also be I. So if you know the value of phase current of phase R, then there is no need to calculate the value of phase current of phase B, because it is obvious if its system is symmetrically unbalanced, then the current will be same, the voltage will be same, the power of each phase will be same. So there is no need to analyze all of the three phase. You can do the analysis on per phase basis if the system is symmetrically and balanced. But when the system become unbalanced, then these current value will differ from each other. Power of each phase will differ from each other. Voltage of each phase will differ from each other. So you have to analyze all of the phase to calculate the total power or current of each phase or voltage of each phase. You have to consider each phase independently. So the calculation become complex. For balanced system, you have to analyze only one phase. But for unbalanced system, you have to analyze all of the three phase. So calculation become tedious, complex. Now you have to uh, uh, estimate everything. You have to consider each of the phase to calculate power. So there is a technique, there is a need of technique through which you can analyze unbalanced power system on per phase basis also. And symmetrical component analysis is the technique through which you can analyze unbalanced power system on per phase basis also. So to understand this concept, you must understand the what is the meaning of symmetrical system. What is the meaning of balanced three-phase system. For this, you have to watch the previous video. You should go through previous video, then only you can understand the symmetrical component analysis. So for better understanding of symmetrical component analysis, you have to understand first symmetrical and balanced three-phase system, how you will draw a phasor diagram uh, for balanced three-phase system. What is the meaning of phase sequence? This is very important. What is the role of alpha operator? What will happen when you will multiply alpha to the any vector? You have to understand all of these concepts. After this only you can understand symmetrical component analysis. So in next lecture I will discuss about this.